What's going on, everybody? My name is Legato, and look, let's just get straight to the point. I thank y'all for being patient with me. I thank y'all for giving me the time to get my stuff together with this YouTube thing, with this live thing, but I'm glad to say that I am back. Welcome to My Name is Legato. So with the channel, I've decided to take the direction of 3 weekly uploads a week at least. Now, there may be, another upload, or, maybe even 5 uploads a week, depending on, if it's important enough for me to make a video on. But there will be at least 3 uploads every week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's Monday. Monday, January 3rd, and I think that Mondays will be the day that I do my little weekly news or podcast or whatever you want to call it for right now. And for the first episode of this Monday morning little podcast I got going on, I want to talk to y'all about my top 5 upcoming games for 2022. I feel like this is going to be an exciting year for games on all systems, but I think most of the games I'm talking about are on PS5. I think most of them are on Xbox and PC as well, just because I just got the PS5. I'm looking more towards a lot of the games on there more so than other platforms, because that's the most powerful system I have right now to play video games. So that's what I'm gonna be buying my games on. Yeah, it looks like it's an exciting year for games, man, and I'm really hyped. I feel like last year was okay, it was decent, but just in February this year, it's gonna be great. So, hey, without further ado, let's get into the list. With entry number 5 for my most hyped games for 2022, I would have to go with Elden Ring. Let me be honest with y'all, man. I've never really played a From Software game like that. I have played Bloodborne, and I do have Demon Souls, even though that's a remake or whatever, but I do have Demon Souls PS5, but I've never really played a From Software game for more than 30-40 minutes. And I have really yet to get into the whole Souls subgenre of RPGs like that. So I think that it's a great time right now to get into Elden Ring and, just give it a shot. Try to appreciate the games like everybody else has been. One thing that worries me about Elden Ring is really just the fact that it doesn't seem that much different from a lot of the other Souls type games, and that worries me a little bit. And also From Software has been kind of just using this template for years and years, and I'm really just worried, is it outdated at this point? But I don't know. That's just my thoughts about the game, from somebody who has never took a deep dive into any of these games that have came out since what was it, Demon Souls 1, or even stuff like was it Kingsfield back on the PS2. I've never played any of those games, so I'm just kind of giving y'all my perspective or my opinion from somebody on the outside. Now I hope I'm proven wrong. Obviously, I'm gonna be paying $70 for it, so hopefully I'm not wasting my money on it, but I'm just kind of telling y'all how I'm feeling at the moment. So number 5 is Elden Ring. For number 4, for my most hyped games of 2022, I would have to go with Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. This game was kind of memed a lot when it was first announced, back a couple months ago, because the main character, I forgot his name, he kept saying chaos and he kept screaming and he kept being mad the whole time. But upon more gameplay coming out and another trailer coming out, as far as from a combat perspective, the game doesn't look bad at all. It looks pretty fun, quite actually. You got different classes and different fighting styles and all that type of stuff. So it looks like a way more action-oriented RPG. Almost Devil May Cry-ish in a sense, if I kind of want to compare it to something. But it also brings me back to those early 2010 days, late 2000s days, where everything was kind of dark and muddy, and all the characters are always mad all the time and stuff like that. So it brings me back those era of games. So that's why I'm kind of interested to see, you know, how this game performs and how it plays and stuff like that, how the story will go. I'm kind of thinking that the story won't be that good. Nothing I've seen from the main character looks like he's going to be appealing to me. It doesn't look like he's going to be like the best main character. But if the gameplay can carry the game just enough so I can get to it or I can get through it, then, you know, it's fine with me. But number 4 would be Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. For number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Sifu. So Sifu was developed by Slow Clap, and it really intrigued me. It kind of feels like an old school type, AA type, you know, game, and we don't get that many of those nowadays. And I feel like indies have replaced the AA game. Indies have replaced, you know, the little $40 game, or, you know, the little $50 game nowadays, where it's, you know, obviously it's indies, AAs, and AAAs. But a lot of the indies are either getting more backing and becoming AAs in a sense. But one game that I did want to talk about, like on my channel eventually, was Samurai Jack. Was it something through time? I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact name. It was just like a pretty good game. It was kind of simple, but it had decent graphics. It had an okay story, you know, Samurai Jack, so they couldn't have messed up the story that much. But it was just an interesting game. It was a budget title, but it reminded me so much of those PlayStation 2 type days. And I think that's what Sifu kind of is giving me, like, you know, just some random Capcom beat 'em up game that was on a PlayStation 2 that, you know, you might play with your friends or you might play by yourself, but you always had a fun time, and it was something you didn't have to think super hard about, you know, but it was something that you also had a lot of fun with. So, you know, Sifu also reminds me of games like Sleeping Dragon and some of the Yakuza games, and I'm just really excited to see where they go with this. And it's coming out on February 8th, so I don't know, man. Let's see what it's talking about. So number 3, it'd be Sifu. For number 2, on my most hyped games of 2022, I'm gonna have to go with WWE 2K22. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a huge wrestling fan, and hey, that's just what it is, man. I'm somebody who has kind of enjoyed a lot of the newer 2K WWE games. It's kind of like half and half, but I think I might have been the only person that actually liked WWE 2K20. Now, I did get it after a lot of the stuff had been patched, but I felt like it was fine, you know what I mean? I felt like it wasn't that much of a drop off from the amazing WWE 2K19. Like, 2K19 was one of the best wrestling games, in my opinion, especially in the last maybe decade or so. And I feel like 2K20 wasn't that far off. And I'm really hoping that 2K22 can revitalize the franchise, because with WWE 2K, was it Battlegrounds being utter trash, and then them, you know, moving development teams halfway through 2K20, you know, it's hard to kind of see where this game is really going. Like, you know, I don't know if I trust Visual Concepts to make a WWE game. You know, with Ukes moving on to the AEW game and stuff like that, I just don't know. So I feel like this will be a make or break year in the WWE 2K22 franchise. I feel like this game can be amazing if it has the right people. You know, it's the first next gen game, but at the same time, you think back to 2K15 when that was the first next gen experience, you know, back on the PS4, Xbox One generation, and that game wasn't that good at all. And 2K16 was a big jump up, but with them having like over 2 years to develop this game, I just don't see why it shouldn't be one of the best wrestling games that we have gotten to this point. You know, I have high hopes for this game. Now, maybe it's silly of me, maybe it's dumb of me, but I've never been the smartest person. So, hey, I'll take that. Now, before I get to number 1, I know you guys thinking, hey, we got Horizon, we got God of War, So one of them can't be on this list. And it's gonna be pretty much of a spoiler for my number one, but you know, God of War, I feel like it's going to get pushed back. I think it may still come out this year, but I just feel like it's going to get pushed back a couple months. So that's why I didn't put it on this list. Most of the stuff, or all of the stuff on this list, is coming out in the first half of 2022. So I kind of wanted to keep it on that tip. But I think God of War Ragnarok will probably be coming out, you know, like later this year. But I feel like it will be getting pushed back. So that's why I really didn't add it to this list. But without further ado, let's get to the number one most hyped game for 2022. And it'll have to be Horizon Forbidden West. Man, what can I say about Horizon, you know, that a lot of people haven't already said? It looks amazing, you know what I mean? The graphics, the combat, the story, the voice acting, everything looks top notch. It looks like in every way it's just going to be an upgrade over, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm seeing so many new enemy types and moves and whatnot, and I really love, you know, the upgrade to Aloy's character model. It looks pretty good in my opinion, although I know some people had a little gripe with it. But I'm really excited to see what Guerrilla Games will do with this one, because I think a lot of people were kind of surprised by Horizon with Guerrilla making Killzone. Before that, I think people didn't really know how good Horizon was going to be, and when it turned out to be as great as it was, I think we're all just whole time we've just been waiting for a sequel to come. You know, with God of War and Horizon both coming out in the same year, I don't know which one is going to be the game of the year. If I had to pick, I would go with God of War as my guess, because God of War 2018 is one of the greatest games I have ever played in my life. I can't say the same for Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, but it's definitely up there as far as the best games of the PlayStation 4 generation. But I think that God of War 2018 was on a slightly higher level of its own, up there with The Last of Us 2 and, you know, stuff like that. So, man, I don't know, man, but hey, I know I'm just really hyped for Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon Forbidden West, I should say. But Horizon Forbidden West, I'm kind of so hyped I really ain't been looking at too much footage for the game. They be showing way too much footage for games nowadays. They be doing way too much. That's why somebody like me, I don't look at no movie trailers really. I wouldn't even have really looked at a lot of the gameplay stuff if I wasn't on YouTube, you know, like as far as for the other games as well. But, you know, I got to make this video for y'all. I don't want to be uninformed. But like I said, Horizon Forbidden West, number one most hyped game, at least for the first half of 2022. But look, that's all I got to say to y'all. My name is Legato, and I'm out. Peace.